Ladies and gentlemen, now this morning I've been having a bit of a play around with the brand new final boss Merlin, and I wanted to make a video sharing everything I've learned about the fight so far, because I'm running a slightly different strategy to I think like everybody else in the top 10 at the moment. However, it's working really well, and I think with this team, man, I see like the maximum potential if you're really lucky, because you know, final bosses, for getting like the really big scores, it's all about RNG. You need to draw like loads of alt drain cards, especially on this fight, and I think the max potential of this team is about 3.4 to 3.5k, maybe even a little higher. I've had so many runs now that are about 3.2k, but this team is very consistent. So I've been running Howzer, Red Escanor, and Helbram. If you don't have Red Escanor and just looking to go for the clear, you can literally replace him with like anybody that just does a lot of single target damage, so even like Green Escanor will be fine, but really like anybody that hits very hard on a single target. If you don't have Helbram, just anybody that can ideally like ult drain and also has a lot of AoE damage on the ult is kind of what you're after there. It doesn't appear that Final Boss Merlin is really as niche as Final Boss Gotha was, and it seems like there's a lot of different stuff that does work for this encounter, but one thing I'd highly suggest is entering the second phase with ults prepared, or a way to kill ideally on the first turn, if not the second turn. So with this team, man, you can just line it up really well, that you do like Howzer's ult, Helbram's ult, then Merlin only has 100,000, and then like Escanor's ult, even if you've got him like 1 out of 6 and don't have the best gear, you can get him down. But you know, what is it, Howzer and Helbram need to be a little bit beefy, but really it isn't too much hassle. So in the first phase, you've got the 2 additionals, and it's kind of like the opposite of Final Boss Gotha. So every one of these mages that's alive is giving Merlin, I think it's like 10,000 more defense. So yeah, she's just got like a really crazy amount of defense, and is gonna patience most damage until you kill them. So your priority first is to get them down. You always want to go for the one on the left, because what they're going to do is they're going to alternate putting up this a really annoying like reflect stance. Now what this reflect stance is going to do is it decreases damage taken by 50% and reflects 500% of the damage taken. So yeah, you got to be really careful on that one. But first turn here, we're just going to nuke him with Escanor, use double Howzer cleave, and because I have OP whale gear, that one goes down immediately, which is a great time. So yeah, the left one, not too bad to take care of. The right one, again, they alternate. So the right one, I think, uses like an attack reduction debuff on somebody the first turn. So yeah, it's going to use that on Escanor, but that one doesn't have the stance active. So ideally, you want to kill that one next turn. But if not, if the stance does become active, you've just got to be very careful. Whereas Merlin herself, she's going to be applying poison and also like spam draining, which is really annoying. But here, what we're going to go for is we're going to go for Escanor's big nuke card. Then we've got the AoE cleave and the drain, which is the same as like Lilia's card there. And then finally, I think I'm just going to go for, do I want to go for the Howzer card or the Helbram card? I think I'm going to go for the Helbram card here, just to make sure that additional side one dies. Just due to the fact that Escanor does have debuffs, which are reducing his attack-related stats, so he's not hitting as hard. But as soon as you get those 2 side allies down, you're going to see Merlin's defense like shoots down a load. If we inspect her like after this, man, it's going to be very low, because it started off on like 22,000. So yeah, she just takes like no damage, man. But the great thing now that you have Helbram, you can see her defense is like 4,500 now, so much more manageable in comparison. So yeah, the good thing is now we can just completely drain her and control her very easily. So if we go for Helbram's drain, I like to save really as many drains as possible. So I think we're also going to use this card on Escanor here, and I'm just going to fire this off on Howzer. Now the plan is, once you've got the 2 additional ones down, you want to try your best to rush all 3 ultimates before you push the phase, because at this point in the fight there really isn't too much stress on you. Merlin's going to be, you know, continuously draining and like applying her perfect cube, but there really isn't anywhere near the amount of stress that you have to deal with in comparison to the final phase. So yeah, this is a really good time, if you can, to rush everybody's ult. So yeah, we've got a really nice play in hand there. We can Howzer, break the shield, and then drain with Helbram. And just try and make sure that ideally you always have a drain in hand. It's kind of what you're after this one. But again, it's a little bit annoying, like, rushing everybody's ult here, because she does, like, randomly just fire off and drain, and sometimes she'll just go ham on, like, one particular target. However, here, we've got, like, literally the perfect transition into the next phase. So what we're going to do here, I think, is I'm actually just going to use this drain card on Escanor for points, because I don't need it in the next phase. And then we're going to chuck off, like, double Helbram Petrify. That gets him up to ultimate. And yeah, we're good to go. So yeah, this is why I love this tactic, man. You've just got so much control. It just makes it, like, really easy to farm Merlin. As long as you can get, you know, those 2 additional side ones. Now, the 2 additional mages that Merlin has alongside her, they work a little bit differently in the last phase. So instead of increasing her defense, they increase her health. So for each one you kill, she starts on about 500,000, but each one you kill brings her health down by 200,000. So if we inspect her here, you can see she's got 500,000 hit points there, and both of these, I think this one has like slightly less. That one's got 114k, and the one on the right I think has just over 120k in comparison. Yeah, more like what is it, 130,000 there. So we go for Howzer's ultimate first. This also gives you a ton of points as well, because it's going to derank Merlin's cards and also drain like loads of ult gauge. So yeah, Howzer's ult is very, very nice. And then we've got Helbram's ultimate, and then we can just chuck in Escanor's ultimate as well on Merlin to finish her off. So the first 2 ults should deal loads of damage, get loads of additional points. You can see like Merlin gets drained, we get tons of points from Howzer's ult there. Another Helbram ultimate, and then we go straight into an Escanor ult. And at this point, man, once you kill both of them, she barely has 100,000. So it just makes that final phase like really easy to deal with if you can get the prep and setup. And with my gear, you know, my gear's like massively blubbery, so it's just a crazy overkill, but very consistently I can get like above 3,200 with the strategy. Like, it's a really consistent strategy. In the 2 hours I've been playing, I've probably seen this score like above 3,200 about 7 to 10 times. So yeah, it's just mad. It's really consistent, and I think if you want like a top 5% ranking, I would really recommend this strategy, man. It's just very straightforward, very easy, because I played around with the other setup that a lot of people are using, which is the combination of Arthur, Gotha, and Escanor, and I think that can work alright as well, but it's a little bit more messy in my opinion. Just having Helbram to like control the ultimate meter in the first turn is just really nice, and also he's just a very nice character for like additional single target damage as well, and that for the most part is what the first phase is about. It's about bursting down, you know, the 2 additional mages and then getting Merlin down while also kind of building up everybody's ult there. So yeah, but again, if you don't have like Helbram, then this team like does work out quite well from what we can see on the leaderboard so far. But I just wanted to recommend this strategy. So that was a pretty good run, but let's have a bit of a look at another one. Now, I thought for a bit of fun, we try something a fair bit different and go for like a green focus team. We got Escanor, we got Green King, we got Howzer, but we've also got Liz Hawk on the sub as well. So maybe actually if you went full green, you can have Jillian. And again, this isn't recommended as like a top scoring team. And we also don't have any way to drain here. So if Merlin gets too many mergers, we might be in massive trouble when it comes to phase 1. But the tactic is still kind of the same. We want to enter that second phase with full ult gauge on everybody, or at least like King and Escanor, and we should be having a pretty good time. So I think let's go for... Ooh, I think we go for this, man. The cards kind of play into each other quite well here. And it gets Escanor's ult gauge up. It's probably going to be a fair bit of overkill left-hand side, but I'm okay with that. Okay, nice. Very nice. And then we got a good merger on King. Really good. It's the kind of draw we'd love to see. I think we get to King's ult pretty damn quickly. Trying to think about like the ideal play next turn. I think we want to make sure this thing dies. The mage on the left-hand side. So yeah, I think we go for this for now. She's not going to ult us this turn. Sometimes she will ult you this turn after, but it depends on her draw. So yeah, there's definitely a fair amount that happens in terms of the RNG in this phase. But the last phase is so annoying, man, just because she, what is it? She's just constantly freezing somebody every single turn. Yeah, she's just really annoying in the last phase, man. The more of that last phase you can avoid, the better this fight is going to be for you. Okay, so let's chuck in this on Escanor, and let's go for... I think this card on Howzer, and then this on King, because then that merges. I think this should mean guaranteed crits on this ability. But we'll see. We don't have ults, but I don't think King's damage is going to push this phase, but I don't know, man. I think, like everything as well, from what I've observed so far today, has some pretty high crit resistance. Okay, so she just attacked disabled Escanor. I hope she doesn't drain Escanor. So yeah, maybe King sucks a bit for this fight. Just because he can't crit. But, you know, he's still got some alright damage on his base. Not the best, though. I think there are much better characters. Because, yeah, even with 100% additional crit chance, man, we ain't critting. So we're learning more stuff every second about this magical final boss here. But I think if we go for a... I might just use Howzer's ult here, because if I take her ult, man, I'm just dead. I'm just so dead. We really don't want that, so I think we use Howzer's ult and then go for a King follow-up. Because even if you don't prep perfectly for the last phase, you can still get through it. Okay, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Let's go for it. We've still got a pretty strong opener. Now, what you need to be aware of as well in the last phase, the mage on the left, I think always taunts, and the one on the right just removes buffs and also drains ult gauge. So they're both really annoying. They're both really annoying, which is ideally why you want to enter this phase, but they're different characters, so just keep that in mind. It's two completely different. So this one increases pierce rate, but also does that really annoying reflection stance, and this one, yeah, just like removes buffs from all enemies and depletes ult gauge. So yeah, she's a massive annoyance. I think if we go for King's ulti here, and then let's go for a Howzer card, and should we go for another Howzer card? Do you want to go for a Big Daddy Escanor card? I'm just trying to think, because usually this... let's go for the smash there. Hopefully the one on the left dies. Okay, still not too bad. Yeah, Green King can certainly work in Ultra strategies. Again, not advised. If you're like Helbram or anybody else, like even Gotha, man, even Gotha alongside Howzer, if he's got an attack set, Matching would work. But I just wanted to like show you guys that other options do have the potential of working. And also why she's so annoying in this phase as well, because she's just going to freeze somebody. However, the great news here is that Green Escanor can't be frozen. And you'll see after the two side mages are dead as well, as I talked about earlier, it just, you know, completely nukes her health, reduces it by 80%. So it's like minus 425,000 there. So it means like most decent single target ults can just finish off the job very nicely. So if we go in for maybe the Howzer cards first, just for some slightly more points. Again, I don't think it's going to be quite as impressive as the previous try. But let's see how we go on here. So yeah, still a massive ult, man. You can see like just double overkill for what is needed there. But yeah, I'm excited to tackle this on my free-to-play account, man. I think I'm going to be using probably like Howzer, Green Escanor, maybe Gotha as well. But you can see, even with that, like, very obscure and out there team, we still managed to get over 2,600. But again, I definitely recommend sticking to the mono red teams. I just wanted to, you know, show you guys that alternate strategy and options could be available, as long as you keep in mind that you probably do want to go into that second phase with a plan to very quickly dispatch of those 2 additional mages, because if you leave them alive, they are so annoying to deal with. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully today's video gave you a bit of an insight into how Final Boss Merlin works and how you might be able to maximize your score. So yeah, let me know what team you're using in the comments section below and which team you believe is the best. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.